Women's Day edition. I am Mapita Sibidi and I'm coming to you live from the Ghana Prisons Service headquarters here in Cantonment, Accra. And I have two lovely ladies and a gentleman with me, and we're going to have a very interesting conversation on what gender stereotypes are, how to break the glass ceiling, and also what International Women's Day means to them, and also what the prison service is doing here for the country. Joining me is ADP Augustina Mensah Fiadzo, and she is the officer in charge of the gender unit here at the Ghana Prison Service. Good morning and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And then we have our gentleman, CSP Vitalis Aiyeh, who is the chief public relations here at the Ghana Prison Service. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you and welcome to Ghana Prison's headquarters.
Thank you. And then we also have DSP Irene Pokua, Wiredu, who's the head of media relations here at the public relations unit. Good morning and thank you so much for your time. So let me start with you, ADP, and what International Women's Day means to you. I mean, we're trying to break ceilings, you know. You're at the top, you're at the rank. What does this day mean to you?
Thank you very much. Good morning, Map, and good morning to viewers out there. Like you said, International Women's Day is a day set aside. Set aside, International Women's Day, like you said, it's a day set aside to celebrate the achievement of women. For us in the Ghana Prison Service, it's a special day for us, in the sense that you know the role that we play.
Yeah.
Our main function as a service is to ensure safe custody, rehabilitation, reformation of the inmates. And women play a critical role in this women. And so we want to celebrate our women, what they have done, and we want to say are equal to them for their hard work and dedication to this day. We also want to take this day to create awareness and sensitize officers on the Bangkok rule. And officially launch the training of the Bangkok rule of officers on the Bangkok rule in the whole country.
Okay.
You'll be wondering what the Bangkok rule is about. I'm sure you'll be wondering. The Bangkok rule is the United Nations rules for the treatment of women prisoners.
I see.
And then non-custodial measures for women offenders. So we generally talk about how we should handle women when they are in custody. So we wanted to sensitize the officers on those rules because we work with the women, so they need to know. And I want to also put it on record that we are already doing a lot of the Bangkok rules in our system. What we are practicing in the female yard is the standard, but we want to refresh their women mind and strengthen them on the Bangkok rules. So for us today, that is why we want to celebrate our women and then sensitize them on this area. So that is why International Women's Day is so important to us. I think Vitalis will add something to what the women have been doing. And I want him as a man to talk. Because if I'm talking of what we have been doing as
it's
women,
like blowing your own trumpet.
So let's your own blow us.
Yes, all right. CSP, please. I mean, as a man, you have sisters, you have, you know, a mother, a wife, and all of those things. What does International Women's Day mean to you as a man, and also working with these lovely women?
As ADP Fiadzo has just said, in fact, it's even in the Bible that when God created man, he said there was the need for a woman. And creating the earth, they came in pairs, man and woman. And the woman is an indispensable part of the life of every community, every human being. And the prison service, we have them that play the role of mothers, caregivers, to the prisoners that are in there. In the prison service, they play a critical role for us, for the service, in fact, for the nation. If I say for us, are we looking like, for us the men? No, but for the state. Because we have women prisoners in there. And they qualify to play this role they're playing, because they are not just brought in because they're women, but because they have met the standard to be enlisted or recruited. And they come in handy. We have had a woman director general in the Ghana Prison Service before. The whole of the service headed by a woman. Before.
Correct.
We have had currently at the very top echelon of the service 3 directors out of 9
are women.
Are women.
Yeah.
And playing very key roles. We have had women head male prisons. Because even though they're women, their role is, it cuts across for both men and women. Most critical, leading other women in prisons, they know the anatomy of a woman. They know what a woman can go through, even by looking at them, not asking questions. So their role in prisons to ensure that what women incarcerated in prison need is very critical and very important. So the service does not joke with our women in the system, and they're encouraged, they're given all the support to climb to the highest point and play the role any man can play, because we can't replace them if they're not in the system.
Let me add something to you before you go. You see, when you imprison a woman, it has a larger implication, you know, especially if the woman is a caregiver. And he's taking care of children in the home and those things. It has implication not only for the children and even the family, but even the larger society.
The community.
The community. If, for instance, he's selling around some places and he comes to prison, those who buy from that place will be affected.
Of course.
And when they come with their emotional needs. They come with that worries, anxiety. So as a woman, we understand. So we help them to settle. We help them to adjust to the community. And that's what Vitalis said. We, the women, play that very critical in helping them.
Talking about that critical role, and you know, he mentioned about women heading the men's prisons. Like, what are some of the challenges you face? Because I'm sure it's not easy to be, you know, heading such. Maybe you have like 1,000 or like 13,000 male prisoners. What are some of the challenges that you come across?
Well, I would talk of, you know, I have worked in the males prison.
And how is that?
It's exciting. For me, it's exciting.
Oh, wow.
Because you see, it's a male inmate community, and the presence of the women rather even calm them.
Okay, I can see how that would work.
It was because they see us as mothers, and I remember when I was in the yard, they call me mommy. So when they are doing something, it's easily to talk to them as a mother. Talk to them that please be gentle. But of course, working as a male-dominated society will have challenges with the men. Especially some of the men that you'll be working with, will just giving them instruction and all those things will be a challenge. But I believe that those challenges, the way you handle your leadership skills. I work in a male station. I didn't have much challenge in that area there because of the way I interact. We have that interpersonal skill. So I was able to relate with the men effectively, and they did really support me, because some of the places you will need the men to do the work.
Okay, I'd like to bring in a DSP, Irene Pokua, and what this day means to you, International Women's Day.
International Women's Day means a lot to us, especially as female prison officers, because we also use this day to celebrate our female prisoners. We shouldn't forget that they are ordinary human beings just like us, just that they have come into conflict with the laws of the state. So we use this day to celebrate our female inmates and also to celebrate the female officers who have excelled. Like my boss rightly said, when you look at the directorate now, we have 3 females occupying very important positions at the top. And my madam is also the OIC of gender units, she also plays a vital role in the Ghana Prison Service. So this day is a great day in our lives, and we use this day to celebrate all women, because look at the important roles women play when it comes to the home, when it comes to our profession, the community at large. We play a vital role in our society. So I see this day as a day that we use to celebrate every woman in the world. Okay,
so because I'm particularly interested in the fact that you headed a prison.
I didn't head, but I worked there.
You worked there. Okay, well, like
I was even the third in command there.
Third in command. It's quite interesting. So would you think that, I mean, there are some sort of risks involved? Would you think that you were insulated from those dangers?
Yes, I would say because we have rules and regulations governing how we handle ourselves. For instance, as a woman, if there are certain places, if I'm going into the cells like this for inspection, I'm accompanied by other officers. And you don't go alone. And so if you want to even talk to the women and the men, the inmates, you have other officers with you. And because there's guidelines and rules, you know what you do and you know what you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And from the training, we are equipped. From the training school, we are trained to know all those things that in the male yard you face. So when you go there, it's not like you are raw. You know what you're about to do. So you know what to do and what not to do. Okay. Because of the rules and guidelines that are there. We have a policy guidelines as to how we conduct ourselves in the system. So it makes that easy. Yeah.
So just to add to what ADP has said, the training we are giving is holistic for all. Okay. We don't have training for women and for men. If we are being taught martial arts, she's taught as well. Okay. And when they get into the facility of males, this comes to bear. And discrimination is not a part of it because of the rule set. The prison, if you excuse me, is more regulated. The rules are more stringent than in open society among the prisoners and among the officers that are working there. Okay. So there's no way I can disrespect ADP because she's a woman. Okay. The laws are there to take me on. Yeah. You see, you dare not do that. You can't. And the prisoners cannot also do it to an inmate, fellow inmate or officers. Yeah. Maybe how come you don't hear so much confusion in the prison yard? Somebody's so rowdy outside. Yeah. But he goes into prison and you hear nothing about the person. He's not being injected to sleep forever. But he's been given the training to ensure that the rules that are there apply. Yeah. The same applies to the women. We have had the first ever female commandant at the training school. Okay. First ever. Okay. Female commandant, woman commandant. Yeah. And if you see the training she brought out, we have had the first ever legal director of the service, a woman in this system. And you are working with male-dominated, quote and unquote. Yeah. But the authority you have, the qualification you have, put you there and nobody can challenge it.
On that note, let's talk about the rise of women being the fall of men. You know, a lot of people say that if women will rise, that means, you know, us men will be put into the corner, will be sidelined. Do you think that the rise of women is the fall of men? And also, how can men also embrace and support women?
I think in my introduction, I made mention of the fact that the role the women play in the prisons, I can play that role to female prisoners. Yeah. Because what they see, what they sense, being women to other women, I can play that role. And that is how come it's not possible for me to go and be heading a female prison all along. Yeah. But a lady can come to the male prisons and head it. Why? Because I don't see her taking my role. We've been given a level playing field to operate. Yeah. She qualifies to be there. Why should I be angry? Why should I say? So if I also want to be where she is, then let me get the qualification. Yeah. And I don't see it competition to the higher level, breaking the ceiling, will not push men out of work. Yeah. And we encourage it because we allow for the girl child education. We saw the disparity as a state long ago, and we said let's encourage our females to go to school, assist them to have equal opportunities with the men. That is to ensure that society comes up. Otherwise, it will be lopsided when it comes to development. Yeah. So I don't really see like a challenge or men being pushed out of leadership when the women are coming up.
Okay. Let me ask something to it. You know, from the gender point of view, I can tell that the prison service is gender friendly. In fact, the Director General has the interests of women at heart. It is always up to us to take that opportunity. When it comes to promotion and recruitment, there is no discrimination. Yeah. And I don't think even the members of the directorate are very supportive. When we are running gender programs like this and we go, the men are always there to give us that support. So for me, within the system, it is really the women who have to even work harder, build our capacity, build our strength, training. So when the opportunity comes, we can just go. But they always give us the opportunity to take it. Yeah. Like if you want to head, the Director General is always giving us the room to operate. So it is up to us to take that opportunity. The ceiling, I'm not saying that it's easy because when you are working the male dominated, it's not easy.
Of course.
And balancing as a mother, taking care of yourself. Yeah. I've always been telling the women that please take care of yourself. I also learn. Yeah. Don't wait because the service is not going to give you that position because you're a woman.
Of course.
You have to show that you are capable of taking that responsibility. And how would you do that? You need to train yourself. You need to learn. You need to add value to yourself. And the women are doing them. When we come to, recently we did this in promotional for the junior officers to the senior officers. The majority of them were women. Because, and they came with extra qualification because they have added and they took them for the senior rank. And so that is what I'm saying. The system is gender friendly. Yeah. It is gender friendly.
Yeah. And also just to add something small to what my boss has said, you know, when you come to the prison service, it's an institution which is gender friendly because you go to every unit or department we have in this service and you see a female there.
Nice.
You see a female, and we have females heading some of these units. Yeah. So prison service, I think we are on the right track. We are on the right track, especially when it comes to issues of women. Every unit you go in this unit, in this service, you find women there. Yes. Okay,
so the question I'm about to pose is for ADP and DSP, and how you know, juggle between work and home. Like, what are some of the things that you do to make yourself that, okay, home, I'm 100% present at home and I'm 100% present at work? What are some of the things that you can do if someone is watching, even if they are not in the prison service corporate? What are some of the things that you do to juggle the work and home life?
Thank you. I think the key thing is time management and prioritize your issues, because we have 24 hours a day. What do you do with that 24 hours? You need to have that within that time. You have to have that time for your family and also have time for the work. So for me, the key issue is how to manage your time. And then also set your priorities. What you want within the day, you should know what you want, what you want to do within the day. So that you go straightly to what you will do. Don't let, these days with social media and everything, it can distract you. So at the end of the day, you set up in the day. When I get up today, I know what I'm going to do within the day. By the close of the day, even from the house, I know what I'm going to do. Yeah. And the workplace, I know what I'm going to do. So you balance those two. And what I've asked that in balancing, you don't take the other one, don't let the job overtake your family life, and don't let the family life also overtake you. That you balance the two. And I remember when I started the job initially, sometimes we work and come back tired, and then I'll just be talking to the children, getting stressed up. And I remember a day my son told me, "Ma, we are not prisoners.
Aye.
Please, we are not prisoners. Oh. Don't be giving us orders and those things, you are not prisoners." And I said, no, sorry. So I realized when I'm being stressed, I need to relax my system. So it made me to take time to relax myself. And also it's very important as women. We need to have time to also relax. When we work in the days, let's relax. Because sometimes we work so much. This will work Monday to Friday, and the day to relax, we are still working. So let's take time to relax.
And talking about relaxing, that's when the men come in, because they have to, you know, help and sometimes take up some duties at home, duties that you would normally take. So the men is when they have to embrace and support. So for your case, how do you, you know, balance the work and the life responsibilities?
Okay, I would say that I have a supportive husband who helps me at home. Okay. And my madam mentioned that time management, and I want to add discipline to it. Because one thing I've noticed is that if you are not disciplined and you join this service, you'll be forced to be disciplined. Okay. Because most of us are living as far as in Sawam, and we drive all the way to this place. So time management is key, and being disciplined too is very key. Yeah. So we have supportive husbands who help us take care of the kids, prepare something in the morning, and sometimes when they even have to drop us at work, they sacrifice by dropping us at work to make sure that we report on time, because prison service, we don't joke with our time. Yeah. If we are supposed to get to the office by 7:30, by 7:15 you have to be around. Okay. Yeah, so discipline and time management is very key when it comes to some of these things. And also getting a supportive partner really helps us.
So I hope if you are watching at home and you want to, you know, find out some tips, the 3 tips that I took out is that you have to have discipline. The second one is time management. And the third one, which is a very important one, which we also usually take for granted, is having a supportive partner. So in this life, when you are praying, pray for a very supportive partner, okay? Thank you. So now let's talk about, you know, reforms and some of the reforms you suggest that could curb incarceration of women, particularly women, into our prisons.
The reform that we...
Yes.
You know, like I said beginning, what brought them to, when you look at the profile of what brings the women, most of the time is petty, stealing, causing harm, fighting, and what are the offenses are not major offenses.
Yeah.
Those major offenses are just minor. And so we look at the underlying causes of what brought them into the prison.
Okay.
So the program that we draw, intervention that we draw, we try to address those underlying issues. Sometimes it's still because they are not working. They don't have any skills. Yeah. So we give them skills. We have trade training that we give them in baking, in catering, crocheting, what again? What are the things that we do? Bead making, basketry. And then additional to that, we have education for them. We have the non-formal and formal education. As I'm telling you now, we have some of the inmates in some who are attending the long distance education run by the UCC, University of Cape Coast. Okay. Yes, some of the women are doing the degree course.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes. Yeah. And then we have those who cannot read, so we also have non-formal education for them. Yeah. So that, and apart from that, their mental health issue. You know, we get emotional. They come, they are worried about their family, they are worried about their children, they are worried about their husbands in the home. And so their mental health. So we have counselors and psychologists in the system that help them. Because the first 48 hours of admission is very critical. When he comes in, he's panicked. He doesn't know what is going on.
Of course.
And so within that time, you need to be calm. And that's where the counselors come inside, talk to them, tell them the facilities available, the rules that are here, and then the interventions that they can go through. We do behavior modification for them, stress management, and then sometimes some of them also will think of suicide. So we'll do suicide prevention, talk to them on those ones. And those are the three key areas: education, treatment programs, and trade training that we give.
And talk on education, who takes care of the tuition? The
tuition, you know, some of the government take care of the tuition. Okay. And then sometimes we also have other supporters from other benevolence. There are some people who decide to even pay for their registrations and pay for the cost, the books and everything. We have support from Benevolent Society that have been helping us. And then the government also supports with the paying of the fees.
On that note, the water that is on the table was manufactured by the prisoners?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously, I mean, if there are counselors, there is some work for them, bead making, basketry and all of that. That is the prison service ensuring that it's more corrective than punishment. So what are some of the other things or some of the other programs put in place for women to make sure that, you know, they are able to be better people when they come out of prison?
One of the things we do is when they are about to go home, you know, we have admission board and discharge board.
Okay.
So it's not a matter of preparing them and then you just go and see no more.
Yeah.
Before they leave a month, we meet them, talk to them, their plans of what they are going to do when they go.
Okay.
Then they tell us. And then whatever support we can give it to them, we prepare them. If we need involving the social workers, we call the social workers. They come and then we set them up. So before they leave, they know what they are about to do. We prepare. They know what they are going to do and what they're going to do. I can give you a typical example. Like for instance, we train an inmate. My first station where I work as a female, we train an inmate in the bread making and he said he will go back. So we gave him the setup. And you know, we were baking in the yard and we used to supply some institutions. So when she left for some time, when we went there, they'll tell us that, oh, this lady has already come. Apparently when she was discharged, she took our customers. She went to the bakery business and then she started supplying our customers.
I see.
But we were happy that at least
she's taking initiative.
And she was doing something. And so we were proud for that at least when she left with the baking that she learned, she was able to set up her own baking and sold to others. And that's what so we prepare them when they are there. We prepare them when they are about to go. So that when they go, they know what they are about to. Mentally, psychologically, physically, they are prepared before they leave.
All right.
Okay, and also to add to what my madam has said, some of the...
So let's wait a bit for the aeroplane to pass by. Service headquarters here in Cantonment, Accra. A plane was just passing by, so we had to wait for it to, you know, pass by. And you were about to say?
Yes, I want to add a little to what my madam has said concerning the reform programs. You know, female inmates, when they come into prison custody, become a bit emotional. Sometimes they refuse to eat, so we get closer to them, we try to counsel them so that they can take their minds off their sentence. And also, one of the things that we also do is to invite some faith-based organizations to come and have a talk with them and also instill into them godly virtues. So these are some of the reformative programs we also do in our prisons.
Which I think is very lovely.
Yes.
And, you know, so that, because we want them to come back better, come back into society better than they left. Now, let's talk about incentives. And what incentives do you think would, you know, should be given to you to improve your job as well as the woman at the center of your jobs? Are there certain things that you think that if, you know, you were given, you would play your role better?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Incentives like, okay, as an officer,
yes,
I think female officers should be commended for performing extraordinary, because we have one officer sergeant Amanyako at the prison officers training school, and I think about 2 years ago she was awarded best graduating student in drill at the Ghana Military Academy. Yes, and I think that is a plus, because for a woman to compete with men, compete with military, police and other sister security services and emerging as the best graduating student in drill, I think she needs to be commended. And also we have one officer, I think about 2-3 years ago, he helped to I think she actually arrested one escapee, a male escapee as a shaman.
Okay.
And that officer was promoted to the next rank. I think she was a corporal and she was promoted to the next rank, which is sergeant. Comfort Esibe at a Nsawa medium security prison. So I think we need more of this from our directors, or let's say our authorities. They should encourage us more, because I've seen that women, if you encourage us and if you push us, wow, we can perform really well.
And to add it to that, like today's a day like this also, we should celebrate a day. When it comes to International Women, we should recognize the women. And that's why I'm saying the service I've done well, even giving us this opportunity to talk on this day and to expose our women, our hard-working women. When you do that, it motivates us to work more harder.
Okay. So there's something happening behind us. So do you mind telling our audience what exactly is happening? Because I mean, we never see this. So would you like to share your secrets?
Okay, so it's not a secret. As we're talking about discipline and hard work and time, this is how we start our day. This is what we call the morning parade. We call it the morning parade. And in that, everybody who is supposed to be working from the main shift should be here. And we start our day at 7:30. Okay. And how do we do that? We do that by first taking a roll call to see those who are there and those who are not in. Okay. Then we pray to God to give us a better day. So this happens in every prison establishment. So those who will not be here, they will be considered to be late and sanctions can be applied. But this is the way we start the day. So if there are circulars to be read, if there are issues to be addressed before the day starts, this is the time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we take roll. If you're supposed to be 50 on a roll, who is not in today? What is the problem? There should be a reason why. Who is late? Okay. Why are you late? If there's an issue, you're sanctioned. So this is a parade we are holding, and this parade is a forum for them to start the day. So check the number first, then 2, you pray to God for a successful day, and you are dispersed to your various schedules. Till 4 o'clock in the evening, you come back like this again. Number is checked, and you go home.
Okay. So you have 2 of these every day.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes. Yes, we have 2 of these every day.
Okay.
We have one at 7:30, exactly 7:30, and also 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now let's talk about living conditions in our prisons, and if they're up to standard international requirements. If not, in which ways can we improve living conditions in our prisons?
Okay, so living conditions in our prisons are, if we are holistically for all prisons, we haven't met the international standards of maybe a cubicle for one person or a dormitory for some number of people. That is on the male side. Looking at our statistics, we have more male inmates than females. For example, if in Sawam was constructed in the 60, in Sawam prisons I mean, and suppose the holding capacity is 800, and there are now more than 2,500.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say that it meets the international standards. But the other way around, the female prisons, they are less congested. We will have less female prisoners. And they're even not overstretched. So you go to the female prisons and you realize that they are so neat. They look like
a boarding school.
Yeah.
Their beds are well laid. Yeah. There isn't filth. I mean, everything is in place. And as I said, it's because of the women in charge again and ensuring that the right things are done when it comes to their hygiene and sanitation. So the male side, we have issues with not meeting that of the international standard, but the female.
So how can we improve it?
You mean with the female or the male?
With the male, because
with the male,
I mean with the female,
with the male,
great, yeah.
With the male, that is how come the service has decided to open more camp prisons.
Okay.
And get them transferred to those prisons to decongest the central prisons.
Okay.
And Church of Pentecost is at hand to help us. At least as we speak, they've promised to build 5 prisons for us, which will, 1, see to the decongestion of the prisons.
Yeah.
Number 2, ensure that the prisoners who are sent there are given some kind of training. And again, to give them the word of God, so that when they come back, they don't go in again. They've already delivered 2 of these prisons to us, each with a capacity of more than 200. The 3rd is about to be commissioned in the next few months. That's in Damango. The 4th in Obuasi, almost 80% complete. And then the 5th is somewhere in the western region.
Okay.
Also, progress of work is ongoing.
Yeah.
So this is what the interventions put in place by the service, collaborating with the Church of Pentecost, and government also still trying to expand the Ankafu Maximum Prison, the phase 2, that will take more people for us. So this is a way of trying to improve the conditions to meet the international standards.
And let me add to that, apart from that, I think we also have put in place this in the proposal on non-custodial centers, alternative sentencing.
Okay.
That I think is in
Parliament.
In the Parliament right now.
Okay.
So that minor offences, they will not bring them to prison. They will just serve in the community service or probation on those ones. So for instance, if you go and steal and steal other things, why do you have to come to? You can just go and work within the community, clean the place or give assignments. So we have introduced the non-custodial sentence with the alternative sentencing.
Okay.
That also will help a way of reducing the... And then we also have the Justice for All program that is running the program.
Yeah.
And those programs is also a way that we are doing it because sometimes the remands can be in prison for long. So that Justice for All program is just to bring the court to the prison and then try the case as fast as it can be. Okay. So that those in prison will be... So the Justice for All program is one way also that we are using to decongest.
Yes, and also when it comes to agriculture, I think we have really improved because when we look at their feeding fee, it's woefully inadequate. So what we do is we have expanded in our agricultural activities to make sure that we produce more to supplement their ration. So
right now it was 1 cedi 62 pesos?
80. It's 1 cedi 80 pesos.
Oh, so, okay, 1 cedi 80 pesos. Yes. Okay. So when you say agriculture, that means that the prisoners are growing what they eat. Okay.
To supplement their ration.
Yes. And which also means that if they were to leave, at least they have gained
some
skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And they can become their own bosses when they leave the shores of the prisons.
Yeah. Now I want us to talk about older women behind bars. You know, with some physical illnesses, maybe mental illnesses. How can this problem be addressed? Older women behind the bar, bars.
I'm not too sure about too many older women behind bars.
Okay.
Because of, as the Madam talked about the the Justice for All program.
Okay.
And I remember with the help of Joy TV, we did a documentary.
Yeah.
That came with how congested the prisons were, and some highlights were given on elderly people in prisons. And interventions was put in place, and most of them have left.
Okay.
But we have always tried to ensure that mental health is something that the prison service doesn't joke with. Madam Fiadzo mentioned that we have psychologists who even take them through suicide prevention and other things.
Yeah.
So that's one key thing. And every year we have medical doctors and infirmaries in the various nurses. So we have focal persons in the various prisons that ensure that mental health issues are addressed. Some people might not even be aware that they're having issues with mental health.
True.
Yes.
True.
But with the training our officers are giving, they identify them, and with the support of government, and we have adopted the Mental Health Day, International Mental Health Day, which officers are brought together for training to go and continue to work with those issues, those people affected with mental health issues, to ensure that we have the prisons running devoid of these people, or we ensure those who are having these problems, they're catered for.
Okay. Yeah. To add it to that, the aging has got its related elements.
Yeah.
And so like menopause and all those, when we have the nurses and the doctors in the system that attend to their needs.
Yeah.
And fortunately, we have some of the drugs that you give to them to relieve them. So like when they're going through menopause, we teach them what the menopause is about, how they can handle those stress. The doctors and the nurses in the hospital, almost every prison has a nurse.
Yeah.
Or a medical assistant or infirmary. So their needs are taken care of.
Okay. Remember to join us on all our social media platforms. It is Joy Prime TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We want to get interactive. Want to know what your thoughts are. Send a special shout out to any woman that you'd want to, shout out to or to give a thumbs up to, because this is our day and we'd like to hear from you. And what are some of the things that you're doing for your mom, your sister, your colleagues at work? What is your office doing? Is there anything special that your office is doing for International Women's Day? The platform is Joy Prime TV, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with the hashtag Prime Morning. You can also send me a message on my personal Instagram or Twitter. It is princess_PITSO. I want to hear from you guys. Princess_PITSO. Now, talking about, support, as someone who's watching, anybody, an organization, what are some of the ways people can support? Also, even if it's just like an average person, I'm just sitting here and I feel like I'd like to support, what are some of the ways I can support?
Let me just say something that is in my heart. Okay. That is something that for the women that have inmates in our custody that I'm always talking about. Yeah. When we give them the training and they are going, sometimes it's just a matter of we need a startup that they will go and start. For instance, if they have learned hairdressing, we just need to give them the machine that they will use, and then maybe a little capital they will add, and then we'll just go and start. Okay. If they are doing the hairdressing, so I'm appealing to the officers. You can go to the female station, talk to them. When they are about to go, you have trained them. Okay. What do you need that they can go out and then settle? You just give them that support. Okay. Startup that they will go and start up. And then when they also go, settle the officers, this in the society can support them to settle down. So you can decide to adopt an inmate. Okay. If you adopt the inmate, when the inmate is going, whatever she needs to go or he needs to go, you just provide. Okay. And then you make sure that you follow up on the person so that when he's there. But when you go out, the society will start saying all kinds. And I also want to appeal to the society, let's not reject them. Yeah. They are our own brothers and sisters. Yeah. They will come back to our society. Let's welcome them with love. Because when you make them feel like they are not wanted, the tendency for them to come back to prison is high. Yeah. So we want to plead to the society, please accept them, love them, and help them to settle down so they don't come back to the prison. Yeah.
Yes, and to add to what my madam has said, I think our doors are still open for donations. Ghanaians are really doing well. Day in and day out, they flood our place with donations, lot of items for our inmates. And because today being International Women's Day and our focus on female inmates, I think we will need more of these things, especially sanitary pads to cater for their menstrual needs. So we need a lot of these donations. Already we have been receiving some from faith-based organizations. They are doing really well, and we also receive some from other big organizations. We want to reach out to Ghanaians that please, whatever you have, just come in there and donate to an inmate.
So what about volunteering? Let's say I don't have money, but I have time. Do you guys have some sort of programs?
Oh yeah. Okay. In fact, some of the training is volunteers. Some people come outside and come and train them. Okay. Now we have even had some people who have come that they want to go and train in some female in crocheting. So like if you have a skill, you know, I'm even talking. Sometimes I tell them when that some of the painting and decoration like this we don't have in the female. I've been asking if somebody who knows how to do painting and decoration, you can come and teach the inmates. Okay. So if you come and you want to take, there are people who are doing that. They come once a week and then teach the inmates the skills. So you can come and then you will allow you to come in. Okay, so what about something like public speaking? Yes, you can decide to take them. Because I think that would be like, you know, interesting. Yeah. Parenting skills, public speaking, ICT. We are in the world of technology. Yeah. Okay. ICT. So if you have the skills, please come and train our inmates for us.
Yes, and we also want to call on our medical experts to also come to our aid. You know, females have lots of issues, gynecological issues. Yes, so we need some of these medical experts to come to our aid and give us free medical screening to assess our inmates and know that they are fit for our environment. Okay, so I opened the social media platforms, and there's a question here from one of our audience members, and this person says, please, I want to know, why do the prisoners beg for money when they come out?
Why do they beg for money when they come out? When they come out,
like when they come out to work.
Well, this is an individual who is out there working. Yeah. Maybe just courting public sympathy. He has begged. You're not actually obliged to give the money to him. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Because he's not supposed to beg for money. Yeah. If he's begging for money on the road, you are not obliged to give. Okay. All right.
And we do encourage them to do that.
No, we don't.
Yeah. So we do also encourage the outsiders to give them the money.
If you want to give a prisoner money, as we are just saying, you come to where he is, and then it is recorded and given to him. Yeah. Because it's a threat. It's not the best to give prisoner money, which he can use to even run away from us. Yeah. So we don't encourage it. Okay. Yes.
So I hope you heard that. The prison officers are not encouraging you to, you know, give the prisoners money when they are out there. They are begging. Okay. So, so I understand that some of the prisoners make the flower pots that we see around. And so what about even also the planting of the flowers? Are these done by the prisoners?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So where we are sitting, as part of their training, they come here to do the cleaning, the setup, guided by prison officers who are professionals. Okay. So you can see the layout of this place. Yeah. And as I said, some of them are trained by us and are making a living out of it, outside of the walls of prisons. That's not the only one. Others have learned mechanics, they've learned tailoring, others even football whilst in prison. Yeah. I mean, if you observe, with Achu's death, a lot of them were crying because Achu used to go and play football with them. He was identifying talent in the prisons. So the prisoners are given a lot of skills in prisons. The problem is that many of them, when they're out there, will not put a tag on their chest that I am an ex-convict. They don't even want that kind of a tag.
Of course. I don't think anybody would want that.
No. Yeah. No. But a lot of them, some come back to give to where they have been trained. And a good number of them you find in some areas doing their own little thing. They got that training from the prisons.
Okay.
Very skillful.
All right.
Yes, and also you remember in my earlier submission, I made mention of training inmates in agricultural activities. And these beautiful flowers you see around is one of these. And we train them in horticulture. Yes, so we have a lot of agricultural activities going on in our prisons for our inmates.
Okay. All right, so let me get your final words. We'll start with ADP.
Yeah. I want to thank you so much for this opportunity given to us. But I also want to thank the Director General of Prisons and members of the Directorate General. Members of the Directorate. The Directorate are the most top management of the service. They have been so supportive of us in the service. And I want to encourage the women and female officers who are working. They should not be afraid. Please, if you are watching us, don't be afraid. The opportunity has been given to all of us.
Yeah.
Learn hard, work hard, be committed to whatever is given to you, and excel. Because for me, when you excel, you will rise higher.
Yeah.
Add value to yourself. The opportunity to learn, online learning, distance learning, take advantage of all those opportunities and add. Don't wait for the opportunity to come. Prepare so that when the opportunity comes, you take it. Be bold, be confident, and know that you are a beautiful woman and you have a purpose. You know, this work is a call. Prison work is a call. If you don't have that call to help an inmate, you cannot do it. So all of us who are working as officers within the Ghana prison is a call. And I always say, Matthew 25, one day God is going to ask us, when I was with you in prison, how did you handle me? Whatever you do to our inmates, you are doing it to God. So let's go out, serve, dedicate, and lift the image of the Ghana prison service higher. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I just want to add that the prisons will be anybody's home at any time, by default. Another aircraft is passing.
All right, we have travelers just moving past us. You see, that's the beauty of a live production and an outside broadcast, is that anything can happen. Right now, in 2 minutes, the weather can change and it can start raining, and we would just be here soaking wet. So that is the beauty of it. We have the natural elements flowing.
So I was just saying that the prison should be seen as anybody's home. By default, any of us could be in prisons. By a split of a second, you can come in there.
Yeah.
So let's see those in there, that they will be our neighbors tomorrow. So what treatment they need to come out looking better, let's give it to them. It doesn't matter how small. I mean, we are appealing. Government alone cannot do it, because the man comes out tomorrow and is living by me. If he's not well trained, if he's not reformed, then he becomes another problem to me.
To you.
So I plead with the general public, whatever you can do to help build the prisons, the Ghana Prison Service, please do it.
Okay. DSP.
Yes, I also want to use this opportunity to encourage every woman out there watching us this morning that whatever you want to achieve in life, you can achieve it. It only takes discipline and hard work. So you shouldn't say to yourself that this job is for men, or they are male-dominated areas, so you are not going to venture. Look at prison service. It's a male-dominated institution.
Yeah.
But we have women here. So whatever you want to achieve in life as a woman, please strive hard to achieve it. And also, I want to use this opportunity to also advise my fellow women to stay away from crime. Stay away from crime, because if we imprison one female, it affects the family, it affects the community, it affects the state at large. So I'm advising all women to stay away from crime so that you don't come to our prisons.
Okay, last question from one of our audience members. How can one become a prisons officer?
With the prisons officer, we have different categories of prisons. We have the senior corps and the junior corps. We also even have the trades and technical, vocational, and sports people. So when you advertise and you qualify into any of these ones, with the senior corps, you should have a first degree and above.
Okay.
With the junior officers, you should have at least SS.
Okay.
With passes.
Okay.
Both in English and in maths. Then with the technical division, MVTI, they have different grades that qualifies you to come. So when we advertise and you fall into any of these categories, you buy the form and apply. You come for body selection. Then if you are selected with the body we need, then you come for training for 1 year. 3 in, 3 out, and 3 in again.
So body selection, obolo like me,
it will deflate you if you come.
I'm sure you'll be making me run, like the obolos will be running and running. Oh, okay.
Yes, people have come really looking big. When we say body selection, it doesn't really mean that you should be, if you are too big, you are not qualified. Your mental stature is what we are looking at, because we can shape you the way we want. We'll take the civilian out of you and put in this thing.
And also I want to add up to what my boss has said. You cannot have all these certificates, but if you have a bad criminal record, there is no way.
Of course.
Yes, you get it. So you should, you should have a good record. You shouldn't have a criminal record, because that will disqualify you from becoming a prisoner.
I mean,
and we will check your background also.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. My guest for today, ADP Augustina Mensah Fiadzo, and she is the officer in charge of the gender unit here at the Ghana Prison Service. We also had our gentleman, CSP Vitalis Aiyeh, who's the Chief Public Relations Officer here at the Ghana Prisons Office Service. And then we also had DSP Irene Pokua, who's the head of media relations, public relations unit here at the GPS. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And to our women, happy International Women's Day. We ask you that you please take care of us today. Their feet must be on the table and they should relax.
They have done. We can say that they have done. They are doing it and they will still do it.
And they'll still do it.
From home even to this place, they are doing it. So we are grateful for their support.
We are very grateful for their support. So the men, we thank you for your support. We thank you for your encouragement. And to the women out there, this is your day. Keep on breaking the glass ceiling. Keep on breaking the gender stereotypes. Keep on being you, and motivating and encouraging other people to be successful. 3 things that I took out from here is that discipline, is that having a supportive partner is also very important, and also, if you can hear me, as the aeroplane is moving over my head, is that time management is important in all aspects of life. That is how we break the glass ceiling. That is how we become presidents and head of states and head of companies and CEOs and stuff like that. Is that discipline, time management, and also having a supportive circle. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be a partner. It just has to be a circle. Thank you so much for your time. Remember to be interactive with us on all our social media platforms. That is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are Joy Prime TV. I am Mapita CBD. It's been a fantastic time here at the Ghana Prisons Service offices in Cantonment, Accra. Back to you in studio.
That was a great conversation, Mapito.